In the previous tutorial, we have created a product class and also category class, both classes, and we have also created services. And if we go back to our application, nothing will change because we have not created any new component, and also we didn't modify the existing component. Now we want to display categories and products when we click here, but of course we don't have any click event. Also in the home we don't have click event. Now what can we do? Let's close this for now. And if we go to the navbar component, but it will not be TS, first let's go to HTML. And let's create in the home, let's create click event. And the name of the function will be redirect home. And for categories, we will also create one event, redirect all categories. And for products, we will also create a click event, redirect all products. And if we save it, we saved it now, but you will see the errors. The problem is because redirect home does not exist in type navbar component. That means that in the navbar component Typescript we need to create these functions. Of course, if we check for our browser now, you will see the error. And to resolve this, we will open navbar component.ts, and inside we will define these functions. Redirect home, redirect all categories, and also redirect all products. These will be functions, but these will be empty functions. We just create them now in order to resolve compilation problem. Now our application is working because we have created these functions, but of course we have click event, but these functions are empty. And now, in order to display all categories, we will need a component for that. Now let's create component. I will type CLS to clear the screen, to clear the terminal. And now let's create component npx ng generate component, and it will be in the components folder. And inside components folder I want to create another folder, categories, and inside that folder I will create category list component, category list. Now we can click on enter, and categories folder should be created. Let's see, it has been created, which is great. And by default, as you can see, we have this category list works, which is good. This is default HTML. We will leave it as it is. Now, how we want to display this page. In order to do that, we need to first, we will create new route. Let's go to the routing module, and we can create here new path. We will call it categories. And component will be category list component. But it will not change anything to our application. We want to move to the categories on the click event, but are still in the navbar TS. Our function is empty. But I want to go to category service. And I want to define also a function redirect all categories. But this is another function. This is function. It has same name, but it's in the category service. And how to define it? Now, we will need in the constructor, by default we have an empty constructor. We want to create a router, private router, and we will import router from the Angular. We will use router. This router has navigate function, and we can use that navigate function to go to the defined route. If we go again to the app routing module, for example, we can use router to navigate to categories, and let's define it in the redirect all categories. We will type this dot router. We will use this private router dot navigate, and the route will be categories. And we have defined this function redirect all categories inside category service, but for now it has nothing to do with this redirect all categories inside navbar component. That means now if I click again in the categories, nothing will happen, because this inside navbar TS, this function is not defined. It's defined, but it has only empty body and nothing. It will do nothing. Now, in order to change it, let's first create constructor in the navbar component. Now we have two options. We could do the same like we did in the category service. We can define a router, private router, and to define the same, this router dot navigate categories. We will need a router, but I will not use it. I will use it only for redirect home. And for redirect all categories, we can also have private category service. Now we have private category service inside navbar component, and now we can resolve redirect all categories in two ways. We can define it the same way like we did in the categories, in the category service, or we can just now call category service redirect all categories. Now we can try to see will it gonna work. Let's click on categories, and you will see here category list works, which is great, but we haven't included also in the category list component .html. We need to include navbar. Let's go to categories, category list component HTML. Let's include app navbar. And let's see how it looks like now. That's great, but if we want to return to home, we still didn't define, we can click, but we still didn't define redirect home function. Let's go back to navbar component.ts, and we will use a router for that. This.router. Let's navigate to home. Now let's try to go to home. It works. You see the path is home, and if we want to go to the categories, category list works, which is great. This is how routing is working. Of course, for products we need a product list component, and also we need to define also redirect all products function, but we can do it later. Let's focus on the categories. And if we want to list all categories, we will need to change this HTML a little, and we can start doing it in the next tutorial.